Hi guys, welcome to day 8 of your 20-day challenge. We are going to be working on the hip flexors today. So for many people this is a very tight area, so I'm excited to get into it with you today and bring some of that nice relaxed ease into this front of the hip. Okay, so we are going to start on our backs today on the mat, so nice and comfortable. We're just going to be feeling into the hip flexors and stretching them out nice and gently. So why don't you just bring your hands up overhead. Get comfortable here. Hands up overhead is a little tight for you. You can just bring them a little lower too. But if you can, and if it is accessible to you, big reach up overhead. Now I want you to give me a few stretches as if you were just waking up. So I'm going to really press my feet and my hands away from each other, and then of course lengthening the middle part of my body where the hip flexors are located, okay? So I'm going to be breathing in, big stretch here, feet to hands, loads of length, making ourselves nice and tall, and then relax again. So we're just doing a couple of these. Let's do another. So we're going to really push the feet away. Someone's pulling my feet, someone's pulling my hands, loads of length. And relax. So not just thinking about the hands and feet, but really about that middle part of the body too. Let's do a couple of those. Nice and tall. Maybe squeezing the glutes just a little bit before relaxing again. Let's go for 4 more. Big reach every time. Really tall. Front of the hips is fully open. Taking that pause in between. 2 more, making them as tall as we can. Really lengthening and reaching. One more just like that. And relaxing. So the hip flexors, when they're tight, they're counting on us to have the knees really folded and short, so that's why we're creating loads of length here. Let's pull right knee into the chest, relaxing the head back down, and let's push the left foot away slightly to the bottom. So loads of length in that right foot, we're pulling the left leg in, pushing the right foot away fully. So loads of length, maybe even right hand on the front of the right hip. On that hip flexor. Breathing here. Always making sure we have our focus on the area before we start doing deeper stretches. So preparing the body and our mind, our focus. Let's switch out the legs. So I'm lengthening my left leg again, pulling the right one in. Maybe hand on the left hip flexor, slightly pushing that foot down. All the length here. Breathing still. Okay, let's stretch the legs back out, coming into hands and knees in your own way for our deep lunge. Okay, so I am doing hands and knees from here, and I'm getting my left foot forward in between my hands. My knee is above my foot here, so we're not doing a knee over toes lunge. We're just keeping the knee nice and stable above the ankle because we are going to be focusing on the back leg. Okay, so I'm just stretching out my back leg as much as feels comfortable here. Now this isn't going to be fully comfortable because the hip flexors do like to be a little sensitive, so we're just going to hold it at a point that feels doable for you today. If that means you're bending the back knee in a little bit more, that's totally fine. That's your option here. Wherever you are, using that front leg to relax the upper body. We're going to be doing 5 deep breaths here. Feeling into the front of that back leg. Letting the upper body relax. I'm looking for those deep, steady breaths here. Staying with that stretch feeling. Using that exhale to soften even 1% more into those right hip flexors. Last breath here, soft hips. Just come out very slightly, but we are going to keep working with those hip flexors on the right side. We're going to make an angle with our left leg here. So I'm just bringing my foot across. I'm going to put some of my weight on here. The smaller that the angle of your front leg is, the less sensitive this will be. Okay, so if you do have tight hips, make sure to just make a very small angle here, pulling the foot in nice and close to the body. We are focusing on the back leg and the right hip flexors. So maybe shifting the hips slightly to the right or to the left is going to help you create that feeling. If you are a little bit more flexible, you can come down, but then make sure you are tilting slightly to the left, keeping that length in the front of the back leg. Let's do a big breath here. Thinking about the right side. Loads of length at the back. Obviously feeling this in the front leg too. Just holding the stretch for a few breaths, letting it soften with time. The longer we're here breathing, the more time it has to soften and release some of that tightness, maybe from sitting. Two more breaths here. Enjoying this stretch in the front leg as well, maybe working into the glutes already. Coming back up slowly. Take your time to come out and come back to hands and knees. It's going to be very slow, maybe stretching out the leg that was in front, loosening it up. And when we're ready, stepping that right foot in between the hands. And again, foot is under the knee here, just so we can keep the focus on the back leg. Positioning that back leg, knee in closer, or knee more back for extra sensation. As always, when we feel the stretch, we breathe. I like to just kind of rub that left hip flexor area, really keeping my attention there for the coming 4 breaths, relaxing the head and upper body. I know some people like to sway left and right very gently. If that feels good for you, you're very welcome to do that. I like to just hold it. I'm practicing staying with that sensation. Getting used to it. More flexible with every breath. One more big breath here. Maybe sighing it out. Easing out slightly, hips coming back up gently. Let's make that angle. Putting the right foot somewhere between the left hand and left knee. Before sinking down, keeping that length at the back of at the front of the back leg. So just wiggling, maybe you want to be a little bit more to the left side here. Don't worry too much about creating more sensation. There should be plenty. And if you are taking the folding down option, moving the upper body slightly to the right, so you keep a nice long stretch on the left side of the body. Breathing here. All those nice benefits in the front leg. Hip flexors are so connected to both the lower back, the core, and our legs. So getting all those extra benefits from stretching them out today. 2 big breaths right here. Let's move the hands back in, nice and slow. And let's unravel. Taking your time here. Maybe tapping it out. Let's sit up onto the knees and go for one last stretch here, putting the hands onto the back, onto the lower back. We're not going all the way back here. Just want you to have a slight sensation at the front of the hips, so maybe even pointing the fingers down. I'm just going to bring my hips forward slightly. Big breath here. Into the lower belly.